They tried to break humanity. Instead, they learned why Earth was a death world. The Zephyrian High Command had studied the intelligence reports for months. The third planet from the Yellow Star harbored a species that had somehow achieved rudimentary space travel despite their primitive technology. Their world was classified as a Class 12 death world, a designation reserved for planets so hostile that the Galactic Council had deemed them uninhabitable by any known intelligent life. Yet here, these humans were thriving. Commander Vexhai clicked his mandibles in amusement as he reviewed the battle plans. The humans had only managed to establish a few colonies on nearby moons and asteroids. Their weapons were crude chemical propellants and basic energy weapons. Their ships were slow, bulky affairs that would be no match for Zephyrian plasma cannons and quantum drives. This will be over in a rotation, Vexhai informed his bridge crew. We'll demonstrate our superiority, break their spirit, and they'll surrender their world peacefully. Standard procedure for primitive species. The Zephyrian fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of Earth's solar system. 300 sleek warships against humanity's ragtag collection of 70 vessels. The message was clear: surrender or be destroyed. Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth Defense Force flagship Indomitable received the alien ultimatum with grim determination. She'd studied the intelligence reports too. The Zephyrians had conquered 47 star systems using the same tactics, overwhelming force followed by occupation of the broken survivors. But they'd never faced humans before. All ships, Chen broadcast across the fleet, remember what we're fighting for. Every person on Earth, every child, every dream of tomorrow. They want to break us? Let's show them what humans do when someone threatens our home. The battle began. At 0800 hours Terran Standard Time, the Zephyrians opened with their standard Alpha Strike, coordinated plasma barrages designed to cripple enemy formations. 3 human ships were destroyed in the opening volley, their crews of 600 lost in brilliant flashes of superheated metal. Vexhai waited for the inevitable surrender signal. Instead, the remaining human ships accelerated directly toward the alien fleet. Impossible, muttered Subcommander Thelrix. They should be requesting terms. Their formation is shattered. Their weapons are inferior. The first human ship to reach the Zephyrian line was the destroyer Defiance. Its captain, Marcus Rodriguez, had lost his wife in the opening salvo, as plasma fire tore through his ship's hull. He did something no Zephyrian commander had ever encountered in 47 conquests. He rammed his dying vessel directly into the alien flagship. The explosion vaporized both ships instantly, but the shockwave sent 3 more Zephyrian vessels spinning out of control. Across the battlefield, other human captains were making the same impossible choice, sacrificing themselves to take aliens with them. They're insane, Thelrix gasped as another human ship, engines dead and life support failing, somehow managed to launch its crew in armored suits directly at a Zephyrian cruiser. The humans cut through the hull with handheld plasma torches and fought their way to the bridge with nothing but determination and small arms. But what truly unsettled the Zephyrians wasn't the humans' willingness to die. It was their refusal to stay dead. Commander Vexhai watched in horror as the crippled human cruiser Resilient continued firing even after its reactor had been breached. The ship should have been a drifting wreck, its crew dead from radiation exposure. Instead, the humans had sealed themselves in their engineering sections and manually aimed the weapons by visual targeting through cracked viewports. How are they still fighting? Vexhai demanded. Their atmosphere has been vented. Their power grid is offline. His answer came from the ship's communications officer who had been monitoring human transmissions. Sir, they're using emergency oxygen and running power through backup cables. Their engineering teams are working in vacuum suits, manually loading the weapons. One of the human fighters, badly damaged and leaking atmosphere, somehow managed to slip through the Zephyrian defensive screen. Pilot Lieutenant Amy Foster had been flying for 18 straight hours on stimulants and pure adrenaline. Her fighter's computer was dead. Her weapon systems were failing, and she had maybe 10 minutes of oxygen left. She spotted the alien command ship. Foster's fighter screamed toward the massive vessel, dodging plasma bursts through reflexes honed by a lifetime of surviving Earth's hostile environment. She'd grown up in the Australian outback, where a single mistake could mean death from heat, cold, venomous creatures, or simple dehydration. The Zephyrians had no concept of what it meant to evolve on a world where survival was a daily struggle. Her ship's missile payload had been expended hours ago, but humans had always been excellent at improvisation. Foster manually overrode her fighter's reactor containment and flew directly into the alien ship's main hangar bay. The explosion tore through 3 decks and crippled the command vessel's main computer. By the time the 18-hour battle ended, the Zephyrian fleet had been reduced to fewer than 100 operational ships. But it wasn't the tactical losses that broke their will. It was the growing realization of what they faced. These humans didn't fight like any species the Zephyrians had encountered. They fought like cornered predators from a world that had been trying to kill them since birth. Every human seemed to carry within them the accumulated survival instincts of a species that had climbed to the top of a food chain, populated by creatures specifically evolved to hunt, poison, or devour them. When Vexhai finally ordered the retreat, his remaining ships limping toward hyperspace, he understood why Earth was classified as a death world. It wasn't just the earthquakes, hurricanes, volcanic eruptions, and climate, extremes that made the planet hostile to life. It was that everything about the environment had been actively trying to kill its dominant species for millions of years, and those dominant species had not only survived, but thrived. The humans hadn't just adapted to their death world, they had become its children, inheriting its relentless nature, its refusal to yield, its promise that anything worth having was worth bleeding for. As the last Zephyrian ship disappeared into hyperspace, Captain Chen stood on the bridge of the badly damaged Indomitable, looking out at the debris field that marked humanity's first victory against galactic invasion. They had lost 38 ships and nearly 20,000 brave souls, but they had sent a message to the galaxy. Earth's children were not to be underestimated. The humans had learned long ago that their world was hostile, unforgiving, and deadly. What the aliens failed to understand was that this hadn't made humanity weak. It had made them unstoppable.